Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing our Oscar nominations predictions for, literally they're coming this week, Monday. We got Luke here. He's going to be discussing his predictions and who he wants to win as well.
Hey,
So, welcome.
how you doing, Ben? Good to see you, mate.
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, how have you been?
Yeah, crazy times. I don't
Good.
know, just waiting to go back to the cinema, and that's it.
Tell me about it, mate. Remember this time last year, you and I were sitting right here talking about the winners and me having that freak out to Parasite winning Best Picture.
I remember that. Luke going insane. He lost his shit. Like
I was quite drunk.
I think you recorded it, right?
Drunk, but yes, it was quite a moment. It was just a history-making moment. So it was something special. I'm glad we got to share that together. But I mean, as exciting as that was, this year's race is just bonkers, and it's been such a topsy-turvy award season. It's just made it way more exciting than last year. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about these Oscar nominations this year.
I mean, like I said to you before we started this, it's been all up and down. I swear my predictions have changed more than they've ever changed before. So I don't know.
Oh God, it's so in flux. Like
with the BAFTAs and everything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But again, I'm so here for it. I like a year where it's just so upside down. Like nobody really knows. Like there's some categories where we're like, okay, I think we know who's going to win there. But there's others where it's left is right, up is down, black is white. No one knows who's going to win it. It's absolutely exciting and it's insane. So
yeah, bang on.
Yeah, and after those BAFTA noms as well. Yeah,
and
BAFTA noms.
I guess just
everyone out of whack.
Yeah, just before we go into it, what do you think of the BAFTA nominations?
Oh, I mean, I was like so surprised, but in a good way. Like I loved that they didn't follow suit, the BAFTAs. I love that they didn't just go for what like was trending in the other awards, the other awards bodies and stuff. I love that they made more unconventional picks. Typically, the BAFTAs have been known to just sort of follow suit, usually with the odd sprinkle of British talent in. There's a little bit of a bias towards the British talent, but this year though, it was just such a wonderful display of representation from different types of movies and international films, and just the talent, like just up and coming talent, a lot of diverse talent. It was exciting. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the snubs were gobsmacking. I'm still gagging over Carey Mulligan and Olivia Colman and Viola Davis not being nominated. It's just like, what? But overall, it's a great step for progress. Like I really did love it. Like it was so exciting to watch because I did so bad in my Gold Derby predictions for the BAFTAs, but it was still a lot of fun. So,
what
it was really exciting. I haven't actually checked.
I got 50% on it. I got over 50%.
So. That's probably better than me, honestly. I mean, I was so happy that Rocks got a lot of acknowledgement, and Another Round. That was my favorite film last year.
You know what? So, I actually predicted Another Round to get director, and all of those I predicted.
Good.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, I predicted the Best Picture and Mads Mikkelsen, but I didn't do screenplay. I wish I had done now. And did I do director? I don't think I did, but I was just so happy to see the love for it. But leave it to the Brits to champion a movie about getting pissed. Such a great movie. Oh God.
No, it's great. And so I was just really happy to see it completely different. And like you said, I was especially happy that Another Round did so well, but Rocks was one of my favorite films last year, and I thought it was just so good. And so I was super happy, you know?
No, I'm happy too, as well. Like, I don't know if we'll get the same sort of diverse and outlandish nominations with the Oscars, because they literally only had one extra day to make the nominations after the BAFTA announcements. I don't know if that's enough time for people to really get behind, some of the more, out of left field picks. But I do hope we do get some surprises. I know there will be some surprises, but I don't think it's going to be as gobsmacking as the BAFTAs. But I'm still excited.
Yeah, me too. And all right, so let's go ahead and let's go Best Picture first. So do you want to list your nominations and who you want to win?
Sure. Right. So for Best Picture, I put 10 in the Gold Derby, but I have a feeling we're probably going to get 8 or 9 nominees this year. This is their last year where they have the sliding scale with the best picture contenders. It's going to be 10 from now on after this year. So I've still gone with 10 because I would like to see 10. And there's plenty of films I think deserve to make the cut. But my 10 currently are Nomadland, 12 Chicago 7, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, One Night in Miami, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, and The Five Bloods. How about you?
Oh, so I think we're pretty much neck and neck, but I don't have The Five Bloods, okay? So number 1, Nomadland. Number 2, Trial of Chicago 7. Number 3, Mank. Number 4, Promising Young Woman. Number 5, One Night in Miami. Number 6, Minari. Number 7, Ma Rainey. Number 8, Judas. Number 9, Sound of Metal. And number 10, The Father.
So yeah, we've pretty much got the same ones, except
The Five Bloods.
I put The Five Blood
over
the Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal. So thoughts?
Well, I currently have Nomadland as my number 1 just because of how out in front it seems to be. Yeah. There's a lot of people saying Trial of Chicago 7 is going to overtake it because some people think it's more prescient, it's more timely. I'm still going with Nomadland. I can see the argument for Nomadland being for not winning at the Oscars because it's a slow film. Not everyone loved it, and on a preferential ballot, Nomadland might do well, like on getting a lot of 1 votes, but it could also get a lot of like middle of the range votes. So I don't know if it will be the winner. But if I had to pick one, my personal favorite would be Promising Young Woman. That's my favorite film out of the bunch this year. So that's the one I would like to see win. But based on instincts, Nomadland, Trial of Chicago 7, or Minari, I think are the 3 incredible contenders for Best Picture this year. I put The Five Bloods in my 10 just as wishful, hoping. Wishful
I would love it to get nominated.
Yeah. It got the SAG Ensemble nom, which means it does have support from the acting branch in a sense. I mean, Delroy Lindo didn't get the best actor nom at SAG, but they did get the SAG Ensemble, which means there is support in a sense for from the largest section of the Academy, which is actors. So part of me thinks maybe it can sneak in. I have it at my number 10, so I don't think there's going to be 10 nominees. I just put it here because I want to see it here. But if there's movies that are going to get snubbed and it's like 8 or 9. The Five Bloods would be my removal, or what was the other one? Maybe The Father. It didn't get the Producers Guild Award nomination. Yes. Tell me about yours.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, like I'm pretty much similar to you. I think my top 7 is pretty much like they're gonna get in. That's Nomadland, Trial of Chicago 7, Mank, One Night in Miami, Promising Young Woman, Minari, and Ma Rainey. I'm pretty sure they're all gonna get in, right? So I agree with you that Minari is really strong, and I don't see a way that it's not going to get in. But I guess the most confident I am for 2 films winning would be Nomadland because of all the love. Yeah, I see the idea that it's not, some people didn't like it as much. I didn't like it as much. Sorry, guys. But I've talked about that before. Like, nothing against Chloe Zhao. I really like that she's winning, and she's made some great speeches. But Trial of Chicago 7, I think it's really strong because I think not many people don't like it, right? I feel like most people like it, and I feel like it's one of those Academy films where like the old white voters will vote for it and stuff like that. I just got a feeling that that's going to be that film this year. And then films like sorry, you go.
No, go on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say films like Mank. I think people love it. Like that's actually my personal pick that I would like to win. I love Mank.
That's where we differ. Mank's like the movie I dislike most. I appreciate the craft of it. I just don't like the story overall. I found it quite hard to engage with. But I get why cinephiles love it. It's just not a film I particularly love. And also I don't think the average audience member will love it. It's a film for cinephiles, but the average audience member just can have a bit of difficulty connecting with it, I think.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think it's going to win, because it's going to get a lot of number 1 votes. It's going to get a lot of number 8 and 9 votes as well, so I think is not going to win. But I think
that's why we have to keep an eye on Minari, because it's one of those films where, and Trial of Chicago 7, because they're both what you might call crowd pleasers. Like they're movies that, like, even if you don't love it and put it number one, you might have it quite high on the ballot, like a 2 or 3. And yeah, Minari is just, I've yet to find someone that dislikes Minari. It's just such a lovely, tender, feel-good film. And like, it does have some, relatable topics. It would be a good pick in terms of like the whole American dream and immigration in America and carving your own path and making a name for yourself. That stuff really resonates with the Academy. So it's one of those films where I could see it just build momentum and gain fandom, and then could go on to win it. But there's also one film that we could also see here that neither of us put in our 10s. And that's Borat, subsequent movie film, because that was in the Producers Guild Awards selections, and the most reliable indicator for predicting the Best Picture contenders at the Oscars is the Producers Guild Awards for Best Picture. And Borat's subsequent movie film made it. And I'm kind of flabbergasted over it. But
it's true. Like, didn't A Quiet Place make it, though, a few years ago?
Did it? Oh, I can't even remember. But the overlap is quite substantial. So it's like 80%, 87 or 88% of the Producers Guild Awards. So yeah, there is a strong chance it could be here. I could also see something like News of the World making it as well, just because it's one of those films I can see the older generations of the Academy voting for, the senior white male types. It's the dad film of the year, I didn't like it. I thought it was a very average film, but I can see it just being this year's Ford v Ferrari getting in because, the older people like it a lot. So I don't think it's technically a Best Picture film, but it could show up here, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
No, I get that. And I think so I put Judas 8th. I think Judas is gonna get in. I'm more certain that Judas is gonna get in than Sound of Metal and The Father, which I have as my 9 and 10. However, I think there's a possibility, depending on if it's 8 or 9 slots, it may just miss.
Judas is one where I've had it's been on the peripheries for me. Like it's been on my alternates until we got the Producers Guild Award nominations and it made it in there. So that gave it the boost and the confidence I think I needed to put it in. Also, sometimes when a movie goes unnoticed by a lot of the precursors, it gets a bit of sympathy, and then it's more in the discussion. And like there has been a lack of love for both Judas and the Black Messiah and The Five Bloods. So if people are like feeling sympathetic, they might lean more that way. And I do think Judas will get in now. It's probably got a better chance than, like you said, The Father or The Sound of Metal. But I think it will be here, but I'm not saying it's 100% guarantee. I'm saying like it's 90% at this point.
I think it's like 90%. But I think my 9 and 10, like we said, we don't know how many nominations we're getting this year. If there's 9, I think it's going to be a fight. Like we said, Judas, I think, is the most likely. However, Sound of Metal, The Father, News of the World, The Five Bloods, and even Borat, like you said, I think those are the ones fighting for those last slots.
I agree. Yes, it's definitely a fight, and I can make a claim for all of them. I really want to see The Father in there. The Father's just a really like, it just really touched me, that film. And it's also got 2 performances in it that are, Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman. It does have a strong claim because 2 performances. The screenplay is probably going to get a nomination. It's got a shot at editing, and all those things do sort of tie into Best Picture. Even though it didn't get the nomination at the Producers Guild Awards, I want to see it in the Oscars, but it's not a guarantee, is the thing. I want to see it there, but at this point, I'm just sort of crossing my fingers and hoping it's there.
No, I get that. But so I think we got some. Our picks are very similar. Like, I think our 10th slot is like the only difference, but I mean, we're not going to get 10. Like, we never get 10 until next year.
It's been ages since we've had 10. I'd be amazed if we get 10 this year, but you never know, we might. Maybe they'll just be like, it's COVID year. We'll give them 10. So yes. Give some films some love.
But so that is our predictions for Best Picture. Luke's personal pick is Promising Young Woman. He would like to win. Mine's Mank,
Yep.
or I would be very happy to see Judas or Promising Young Woman to win. Those would be my next
There you go.
picks. So I don't mind who wins.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Best Director. So who do you have?
Mhm. Oh, this is a fun category because I think everyone has Chloe Zhao at number one because she just seems to be, the lock for the win at the moment. And if she doesn't win, then there's going to be some riots. But what's more interesting is trying to guess who is going to be in the category with her. And honestly, there's so many people that could get in here. But I've gone with Chloe Zhao number one, David Fincher number two, Lee Isaac Chung third, fourth is Emerald Fennell, and fifth is Aaron Sorkin. How about you?
We did exactly the same, but just in a different order. I put number one,
same
Chloe
positions.
Zhao. It's different positions though. I put number one, Chloe Zhao, number two, David Fincher, number three, Aaron Sorkin, number four, Lee Isaac Chung, number five, Emerald Fennell.
Yes. Wow, there we go. Cool. Great minds think alike, babe.
I was the other day, I changed this last minute. I wasn't so sure if Emerald Fennell was going to be in or would it be Regina King. But after the recent nominations, I switched it to Emerald because she just got the DGA nomination. So thoughts?
Exactly, yes. This is the thing. Like I said, Chloe Zhao should be walking away with this. But I can make, a credible argument for any. There's loads of alternates I can see sneaking in here.
Yeah.
With the directors branch of the Academy, they sometimes go for the more established directors, so the ones that have sort of been around a lot longer.
Yeah.
And I could see an outcome where they go with what they know rather than give some of the rising star directors an acknowledgement. So I could see an outcome where Paul Greengrass gets in, Spike Lee or Shaka King, like bumping someone off who's new. Because the thing is, this year there's so many new directors, or sort of newbie directors in the race. So you've got writer turned director Aaron Sorkin, you've got Emerald Fennell, who's up and coming, you've got Lee Isaac Chung, you've got Regina King, Darius Marder, Florian Zeller. These are all relatively new directors. So with the directors branch, they make with the directors category, it's the directors branch of the Academy that make the choices for this one. So I hope David Fincher is there. Like some people saying he's going to be snubbed just because he's not had the best run this season. That's just because he's been eclipsed by Chloe Zhao. I really, really, really do hope Emerald Fennell is here. But because I just love Promising Young Woman so much. And I just really wanted to see her there. And plus, having two women would be amazing. I mean, some people are hoping for three with Regina King, but I think that's asking a lot of the director's branch. But I do hope Emerald Fennell is there. She's one as well. I don't feel safe putting her in my list. I could see her being snubbed and bumped for someone like Shaka King or Darius Marder or something. But yes, Aaron Sorkin, I've got my fifth because I know a lot of people feel like, Trial of Chicago 7, it's a Best Picture contender. Aaron Sorkin will be nominated, but that doesn't always translate to a Best Director nomination. You just have to look at
Green Book. Where did he get nominated? I'm not sure.
No, Peter Farrelly didn't get a nomination for Green Book, but so that's proving it. But also Martin McDonagh with 3 Billboards. Bradley Cooper with A Star Is Born. Even and that goes with Regina King as well for One Night in Miami. People that are sort of had success in one area and then transferred to another don't always get the acknowledgement from the directors because it doesn't seem like they've paid their dues yet. They need to have a few more.
Switched over or something,
Exactly, yes. And it can happen. We had Greta Gerwig, the Lady Bird, but she didn't get the nomination last year. So sometimes we expect too much from the director's branch, but more often than not, there's usually an upset with the director nominees. Just last year with Greta Gerwig, no female nominees last year. So hopefully they make up for it this year. Maybe they'll feel like, okay, we let them down last year. We need to. If we give 2 females nomination this year, then that sort of cleans our image a little bit more. So I'm hoping Emerald Fennell gets in. If Regina King and Emerald Fennell get in, I'll freak out.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. So for me, I think Chloe Zhao obviously is the biggest lock ever. No way she doesn't get in. That would be the biggest upset ever. David Fincher, I don't really see why. Like, obviously, full disclosure, I love Mank. It's one of my favorite films this year. However, I think when you look at it overall and its success, yes, it hasn't been winning a bunch of stuff, but it's been getting nominated pretty much everywhere. I think BAFTAs is an exception because they nominated very out of left field one. So I wouldn't really look into that for the Oscars. However, so I think David Fincher is definitely in. Like, I would be shocked if he isn't.
He's also quite well established as well. He's a name that everybody knows. So yeah.
And so Aaron Sorkin, I've got him number 3. I just think the Trial of Chicago 7, sort of how much it's loved, I think he's going to get in. However, I don't want him to get in personally.
That's me as well. So yeah.
So I just don't think what he did was anything too exceptional compared to like.
I love you for saying that. I'm so glad because like I think it's competently directed the film, but it's just, imagine what Spielberg could have done with it. Like, it could have just been so much more invigorating in Spielberg's hands, but it's competently shot. I'll give them that. But is it the best directing of the year?
No,
I don't think so. Like, the movie is effective, but the direction isn't anything special. That's just me. I love Aaron Sorkin, and I like that he's branching out, but no, I don't think the directing is anything special either. But yeah, I can see it being nominated because it's a Best Picture contender, and they do sort of like to, you know, go hand in hand, the director in the Best Picture category. So that's why he's my 5th.
Yeah, I actually think Aaron was more deserving for Molly's Game. I really like Molly's Game.
There you go.
So that's just my personal opinion, but I do think Aaron is getting in. I think if I'm predicting, he's definitely getting in. And then I put Lee Isaac Chung for Minari and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. I think they're very solid. However, I am a bit wary because, like you said earlier, I think the director's branch may throw in like one surprise nomination. And I think out of all of my picks, I think Aaron has a chance. Maybe he gets switched out for someone, potentially, but I think it's less likely. However, I think, like you mentioned, with new directors, they don't always like to do that. So I'm kind of a little bit wary that they might switch out Lee Isaac Chung or Emerald Fennell or both of them. Like, there is a chance. I see a possible.
That's a very real outcome. Yeah.
I see a very real outcome where Spike Lee gets in, like, because he is just so well.
Absolutely. He's had a hot streak the last few years as well. So, and like you said, Defy Blood's not getting as much love as it should do. Maybe the Academy will have his back, you know. He was nominated last year, wasn't he, for was it last year? No,
the year before, Black Klansman.
Yeah, for Black Klansman,
yeah. So I don't know, out of the, you know, possible options on the outside, I think Regina King still has a shot. I think Spike Lee still has a shot, and I think the slightest of chance for Shaka King. However, maybe that's just my personal preference kicking in because I loved what he did with Judas.
He doesn't get enough credit for Judas, honestly. It's so well directed, that film. But
so well directed. And so my personal pick out of all of this is definitely David Fincher because I love Mank. But I would really like to see Emerald Fennell get in. And I would really like Spike Lee to get in because I thought Defy Bloods is completely worthy.
That would probably be my fantasy pick, you know, like the picks you want to see get in. But at the same time, you don't think they will because it doesn't always, who you want doesn't always mean they're going to get in. But yeah, I would be happy with Spike Lee getting in along with Emerald Fennell, Lee Isaac Chung, Fincher, and Zhao. Those would be my top 5 fantasy picks. But I can see Sorkin getting in. Yeah.
Fantasy pick for me, Thomas Vinterberg gets in. And can
you imagine? Oh god.
or Rose Glass freak out. Maud, but that's never happening.
I mean, like it's insane that Another Round has done so well, but just isn't getting the same sort of like praise as Parasite did last year, being like the international Best Picture frontrunner. But yeah, Another Round has just done so well, like of all the festivals it's been to, and it's strange it's not gotten the same sort of traction.
I do have a slight thing, okay? right? I got this slight idea in my head because out of nowhere, a couple of years ago, the BAFTAs, and I know it's different, but the BAFTAs nominated Paul Pawlowski, I forgot how to say his name, for Cold War,
Yes.
and
Yep.
got in for Best Director. And that, I think that came from the BAFTA nominations. And I know there was only like a day between, changing votes and stuff for the Oscars when they had to hand it in. But that came, and I think that influenced him getting picked. So what happens if there is a slight chance that Thomas Vinterberg gets in? I don't know. Like, they have done that before. I'm just putting it out there, maybe.
There's always a curveball. Maybe not in director, but it could be this year. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's any year, it's COVID year. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, great picks. We're pretty similar on that. So best actress. Tell me your picks.
Oh my god, the two female acting categories this year are so exciting. They're so open. Each bloody awards body just keeps throwing surprises and curveballs, and it's just making it so hard to call. Just the fact that Viola Davis and Carey Mulligan were snubbed at the BAFTAs is just, it's mind blowing. So it's just crazy. So it's just made the race a whole lot more interesting. But my 5 for best actress this year are Carey Mulligan at number 1. 2 is Viola Davis, 3 is Frances McDormand, 4 is Andra Day, and 5 is Vanessa Kirby. How about you?
Okay, my number 1 is Carey Mulligan. My number 2 is Frances McDormand. My number 3 is Viola Davis. My number 4 is Vanessa Kirby. My number 5 is Andra Day.
Oh,
so are they the same picks?
Same picks, just different order. So yes, I've got Viola Davis higher than Frances McDormand, and you've got Andra Day last, whereas I have Vanessa Kirby last.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm very uncertain who's going to win. The reason I have Frances McDormand number 2, Viola Davis, and then Vanessa Kirby is because I'm nearly 100% sure they're going to get nominated, but I don't see them winning. I only really see Carey winning as of right now. So that's why she's my number 1. And then number 5, I feel like it'll be Andra Day. However, there is a chance that it could be someone like Rosamund Pike. There is a slight chance. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so my number 1 is who I want to win as well. I want to see Carey Mulligan win.
Oh, me too.
Absolutely adored Promising Young Woman. She's just playing such a fascinatingly complex character as well. She's kind of like this year's Joaquin Phoenix with Joker. It's just such a fascinating anti-heroine character, but someone you love to watch whatever it is they're doing. And I really want to see Carey Mulligan win it, but that BAFTA snub just threw such a spatter in the works. I thought, she's going to get that, and then she'll be sort of on track to win. But the BAFTA snub has definitely thrown people off a little bit. I still think she can win it, and I'll feel more confident saying that if and when she should win the SAG award, because there's a lot of overlap with the SAG winner and the Oscar winner for Best Actress. So I'm hoping it's Carey. I have Viola Davis second, because as soon as I saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom last year, I was just like, oh my God, this is an Oscar-worthy performance. This is stunning. And Viola Davis, it's insane that she doesn't have a Best Actress Oscar. She's got a Best Supporting Actress, but and we've only ever had one Black Best Actress winner. So and that was 20 years ago with Halle Berry. So it's like, is it time yet, for another Black actress to win? I thought as soon as I saw Ma Rainey, I thought as soon as I saw Ma Rainey that it was Viola Davis to win. But then award season just got so exciting. I saw Nomadland, and I saw Pieces of a Woman, and I love Vanessa Kirby in that. I do like Vanessa Kirby's performance in Pieces of a Woman, but I think just getting the nomination is where it stops for her, because I love the first 30 minutes of Pieces of a Woman. It's very powerful. It's very effective. The rest of the movie just sort of fizzles out. And I actually think Pieces of a Woman, its only chance of being acknowledged at the Oscars is Vanessa Kirby now. Yeah. So she's my number 5 at the moment. She dropped after Andra Day won at the Globes, because that was just such a shocker.
That was
it was such a delightful shocker. And she is amazing in the United States Business Holiday.
I'd be happy to like the film. Not gonna lie, it's okay. It's like good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind.
I wasn't crazy about it. I thought it was quite TV movie-ish, but I still appreciated Andra Day. She was the best thing about it. She made it watchable.
For sure.
But yes, I can't put her at my number one yet. A lot of people have her as winning this because also she could be, the second ever Best Actress who's Black to win. And that would be nice. I would be fine with Andra Day winning it. But I haven't put her at my number one yet because she doesn't have the SAG nomination. And no Best Actress winner at the Oscars has ever won without having the SAG nom.
Yeah.
But if there's any year, I keep saying this, if there's any year where they mix it up and don't follow the unspoken rules that have come before, it's this year. And she probably can. She probably, there's a way for her to win. But she needs to get the nomination first. And I do see her getting the nomination at least. Yeah. So, if she, there is a chance where she could win. But for now, I'm Team Carey Mulligan. Vanessa Kirby is the one who I thought was part of the 4 who could win. And then she dropped the day won the Globes. And now I could see her being bumped for like an Academy favorite like Sophia Loren.
Yeah.
Amy Adams got the SAG for Hillbilly Elegy, so maybe she'll show up here. She is an Academy favorite. And also maybe it'll be someone out of left field. Sydney Flanagan for Never Rarely, Sometimes Always. Zendaya for Malcolm and Marie. We don't know. Maybe they'll go with someone just a bit more unconventional. I don't know. But anyway, so I feel like I'm rambling. What do you feel about Best Actress?
I'm pretty confident about these 5. Yeah. I think it's a bit less likely that someone like Zendaya is going to get in, or like Michelle Pfeiffer, or like Amy Adams, or Rosamund Pike. I mean, I'm just scrolling down. Like, I think a lot of
love Rosamund Pike. I would happily see Rosamund Pike nominated for I Care a Lot. But the film it's kind of been forgotten about unfairly because I love that film as well. And it's just kind of just fizzled out. I'm glad it got the Globe recognition. But it's a shame. If she does get nominated, I'll be delighted, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a slight chance, but I'm very confident about these 5. I'm just
me too.
Not confident about who's going to win. Although, like I said, I think Carey has the best chance, and she's a personal pick as well. So, I mean, that's good, right?
Yeah, that's where we agree. The 5, we're both comfortable with these 5 nominees. We have them in slightly different orders. But we both want Carey Mulligan to win, and we both have her at our number 1. Yeah. But we're not 100% sold it's going to be her yet. There's definitely an avenue for someone else to come and take it away. So
Well, solid picks. Okay, let's move on.
Here we go
to Best Actor. Now, this is an interesting one because I think there is a few that could replace the 5th slot. I think there's about 4 that are very solid. Tell me your picks.
Okay, well, I have it as a top 3, and the last 2 are more interchangeable. So you might have one that's interchangeable, but I have 2. Okay. So my 5 currently are Chadwick Boseman for number 1, and for the win, I think he's got this. Then Anthony Hopkins as number 2, Riz Ahmed, Gary Oldman at number 4, and Stephen Yeun at number 5. And then at my number 6 is Delroy Lindo, who I think's interchangeable. So how about you?
Okay, so our picks are the same again. They're exactly the same. So my number 1 is Chadwick Boseman. My number 2 is Riz Ahmed. My number 3 is Gary Oldman. My number 4 is Anthony Hopkins. And my number 5 is Stephen Yeun. And I changed Stephen Yeun and I added him in literally just this morning. I think I had Delroy Lindo in, but I don't know. I just like, for me, the Five Bloods getting literally like nothing in a lot of places or being ignored, like him specifically. I'm like, he could totally get in because he's totally worthy, and I think a lot of people are going to vote for him. However, I think a film like Minari seems to be getting more love right now. So that's why I switched out. What's your thoughts, Luke?
Yeah, I kind of see I see eye to eye with you there because my fantasy picks for this would be Boseman, Hopkins, Ahmed, Yeun, and Lindo. I'd take Gary Oldman out. Like, as much as I love his performance in Mank, I don't think he's going to win for it. I don't think he needs the nom. Whereas it would be so nice to see someone get there first, like Stephen Yeun or Delroy Lindo, because it's just it means more to them because they're the first time being nominated. And as much as I love Gary Oldman, I think he's deserving of the nom, and I think he will get in. I would rather see Stephen Yeun and Delroy Lindo because it would just be the most diverse acting category we'd ever had as well. Because we'd also have the first Asian American nominee with Stephen Yeun, and then Delroy Lindo obviously being African American. Then it's just such a lovely diverse mix. And Anthony Hopkins would be the only person that was white that year.
Yeah.
But Delroy Lindo, as much as I really want to see him in it. There's two people I'm dying to see make the cut for the men. It's Paul Raci and Delroy Lindo in either category. But Delroy Lindo, I have to go with the evidence, and like he's just not been doing as well as he should be. Yeah. By all accounts, he should be in every single awards body, but he just hasn't been landing the nominations.
Yeah.
Not even at BAFTA. I thought he might have a chance at BAFTAs, but yeah, not even there. So Delroy, I want to see him there. I can see him there because as well, like he's got that sort of narrative, like, why aren't we giving Delroy Lindo any acknowledgements? Like he's totally deserving. But like you said, Minari's arrived at a better time. It's more fresh in the Academy's minds. It's really striking a chord with people. It makes more sense to go with Stephen Yeun. And Gary Oldman's also like, he's a renowned veteran. People know his name. They love him. You know, I can see them just nominating him because he's a veteran and they respect his work and his craft. So I can see Delroy Lindo being snubbed, but if he does make it in, I'll be so happy. So how about your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chadwick's gonna win. Like I think I'm very confident about that. I think Riz Ahmed is definitely getting in. I would be shocked if he doesn't get in. I think Gary Oldman's definitely getting in. He has been getting nominations, even though yes, Mank is a bit divisive. Anthony Hopkins, I think, is definitely getting in. So I think the top four are very, very solid. Like, you know, I think they're getting in. So I think, like I said, Stephen Yeun is likely, but there is a chance. Okay, so my other chance picks, I guess, would be, you know, I think there's a chance Delroy gets in instead of Stephen. I think Tahar Rahim has a good chance. He's got some nominations. BAFTAs, Golden Globes. Mauritanian did very good at the BAFTAs, and a big chunk of BAFTA actually influenced the part of the Academy. And I know there was some categories, but it did get in for Best Picture, and that's voted by all of BAFTA. That wasn't just the jury. So I'm saying there's a chance. I think Tahar gets in. I think Tom Hanks still has a chance. I'm not 100% sure, but
I love Tom Hanks. I just don't want him. I don't want this to be one of his Oscar-nominated roles. Like I thought he was good in the movie, but News of the World is not one of those films that people will look back on Tom Hanks' career and go, "Oh, yeah, he was so amazing in News of the World, wasn't he?" Like I'm happy he got in with last year with what was it? Can You Ever Forgive Me? No, not Kevin. What was the film?
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
That's the one. Yeah, sorry, getting it muddled up with Melissa McCarthy movie. I don't know why. But He's had sort of an unusual track record with the Academy as well, Tom Hanks. Like he got his last nomination in 2000 for Castaway, and then he just had this 20-year gap, and then they finally acknowledged him again last year for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. But I can't see him being nominated here. The person who I would like also be elated to see here would be Mads Mikkelsen for another round. That would be a lovely, lovely surprise. That would be,
and there is a possibility because not many people were predicting it, but Antonio Banderas did get in last year.
True.
Big thing. So,
and the Academy do like to acknowledge at least one non-English speaking performance. And I know we've got like people like Yoo Jung-yoon that are, you know, going to fill that sort of void. But I don't know, Mads Mikkelsen, you know, he's certainly well known in the industry as well. So I could see a lot of people to say.
I haven't seen many people not liking Another Round. I think most people really like Another Round. So
I haven't really found many people that dislike it.
Yeah, and I mean, my fantasy picks, like I want Gary Oldman to win. All right, I'm sorry. I love Mank. However, I would be really happy to see Chadwick win because his performance is fantastic. Like I prefer Mank over Ma Rainey, but Chadwick is arguably better, you know. I think for me they're pretty much neck and neck. Like I don't care as long as one of them wins. But like fantasy picks, I would love to see Tahar Rahim in. I love the Mauritanian. I would love to see Mads Mikkelsen in for another round. Yeah. And big fantasy pick, I would like either John David Washington or Lakeith Stanfield to get in. Like I voted. Okay, I'm a Critics' Choice member, and I voted for Lakeith Stanfield for Best Actor. So
nice. Just want the world to know, yeah. Lakeith
Yeah.
Stanfield, I got you back. Now, I do feel a little bad for Lakeith because and Dominic Fishback, because Daniel Kaluuya is just getting all the attention for Judas and the Black Messiah. But there's so many fantastic performances in that movie, and it's just a shame he's not getting the same amount of traction as Daniel. But hey, maybe it's just not his year.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, but I think there is a chance that the fifth slot could go to one of those many actors we've mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, yes, another one. This is so exciting, this one. All right. So mine currently are Yoo Jung-yoon, 1, Glenn Close at number 2, Olivia Colman, 3, 4, Maria Bakalova, and 5, I've gone with Amanda Seyfried still. How about you?
Okay. I don't have a certain one that I want to win, so I don't think these are ranked very well. I haven't really properly ranked them because I literally don't have a prediction as to who's going to win yet. But I think these are the ones that are probably going to get nominated. So I've got Amanda Seyfried for Mank. I've got Olivia Colman for The Father, Glenn Close for Hillbilly. I've got Jodie Foster for The Mauritanian, and I've got I switched this out this morning. I think it's neck and neck. I put in Maria Bakalova instead of Yoo Jung-yoon. But okay, I do not want Maria to get in. I want Yoo Jung-yoon to get in. But
really?
Yeah.
No, I want both of them, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, but like I don't know. The reason why I switched her out is because I remember last year how much everyone loved The Farewell. What's her name?
Yes. Zhao
Zhuzhen. Yeah, she was so worthy and she should have got in, but they totally snubbed her. And I feel like I just got this sneaking feeling that they're going to do it again too. And I'm not trying to couple them together because they're both Asian, you know. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm Chinese myself. I would freaking love her to get in. You know, I was totally rooting for The Farewell last year.
No, I can see what you mean.
But I think there is a bias against sort of lesser known actors, especially from abroad. So
yeah, I get what you're saying as well. And the characters are kind of similar. They're like very kooky grandmothers with no filters. So I can see why you would lump them together. My argument against that is because I can see Yoo Jung-yoon getting in. If she doesn't get in, well, if she doesn't get in and it's the 5 that you said, then it's literally just all white women, which doesn't look good. No. And also last year, the controversy was Parasite could win Best Ensemble at the SAGs and also win Best Picture at the Oscars, but no Asian actors from Parasite got any awards nominations, period. And that's just like, how does that work? How can you nominate how can the cast win Best Ensemble, but no one gets an individual nomination anywhere? So, and also last year we had no nominations for acting for Parasite or The Farewell. And they were they were both such great movies, and they both deserved acting nominations for Awkwafina, Zhao Zhuzhen, Bong Joon-ho. No, Bong Joon-ho. That's the director's face. Song Kang-ho. Sorry, Song Kang-ho, and the little girl who played the daughter. I thought she should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. But yeah, this year I think there's a consciousness in the Academy to know that they need to sort of acknowledge some Asian actors this year, because it's not. I mean, they really dropped the ball last year. Yeah. So I think that will be in their minds. Plus, Minari is so loved, and I think that will be a reason for people to nominate Yoo Jung-yoon, because they love the film. They want to acknowledge more Asian performers, and I can see Yoo Jung-yoon and Stephen Yeun getting nominated. Yeah. And who knows? Yeri Han or Alan S. Kim could get nominated. They have been showing up in places. Maybe they will just go all out on Minari and show it some love, but. I do think Yoo Jung-yoon will be here, and I'm hoping she is. If she's not, she's my number 1. So if she's not here, I'm gonna get upset. I really am. Yeah, but
I totally get that. Like, I wish she gets in, and I really hope she gets in. Out of these nominations, I think Amanda Seyfried is going to get in. She's been nominated at most places. Yes, she's missed.
Well, actually, she's struggled. She didn't get the SAG nom, and she didn't get the BAFTA either. So a lot of people have dropped her from hers for me, I make the argument that it's just one of those roles that I can see the Academy really liking.
Exactly.
Because she's playing, an old Hollywood starlet, and the Academy love, actors playing actors, actors playing musicians. But also, it's just such a grown-up, A Star Is Born sort of role for Amanda Seyfried. She's been building a name for herself, in smaller movies, but now she's got a real awards contender role, and it's just one of those roles I can see the Academy really liking. So I've still got her at number 5. I had Jodie Foster previously after she won the Globe, but then she didn't get nominated at the SAG. Well, she didn't get nominated at the SAG, but she also didn't get nominated at the BAFTAs. So I dropped her. The one that's really throwing me off, though, is Maria Bakalova, because I want her to get in. I know, like you're saying, you don't want her in there, but I do. I just want some bloody diversity when it comes to genre performances, because we don't have any horror performances like up in contention this year. And she's like the only thing from a comedy film which is getting a lot of buzz and traction. And if she gets in, it just makes it more interesting. It makes it more diverse. It's showing representation for different types of genres, and I hope she's there, because I just loved it. It's so unconventional, it's so left field, but that's the thing, it's also a performance I can see being snubbed by the Academy, because it's not conventional. Like, they might just go with the biopics and the dramas, the emotional monologue movies, not the ones where she has to improvise and say, oh, I swallowed a baby. Is that something the Academy can get behind? So if there's any awards body to snub Maria Bakalova, I feel like it'd be the Academy Awards, but I'm hoping she makes it in.
And so I think Jodie has a good shot at getting in, and I agree she could switch out to like Yu Jung-yun or anyone like that, but I feel like, especially after the whole BAFTAs, they nominated the Mauritanian for Best Picture. Like, I just and seeing it pop up like Golden Globes, like she won. I feel like she's gonna get in, and also she's a very, very well established actor, and she hasn't acted in a very, she doesn't act much recently. That's
not really, no.
So
I was saying my review. The last time I saw a film of Jodie Foster's, which I loved her performance, was Flight Plan. No, like back in 2007 or whatever. So I was like, blank. I don't see a lot of her acting these days. So I could see her making a comeback. Plus, also, there's that narrative of having the 2 stars of Silence of the Lambs nominated again with Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. So some people might want to see that.
So there's a possibility that she gets in. I'm not 100% on Maria. Like I said, I think her or Yu Jung-yun pretty much are going neck and neck. I want to get your thoughts, because I remember you were very big on Ellen Burstyn getting in. Do you think there's a chance?
Well, like I said previously, I think now Pieces of a Woman's best shot of just being acknowledged is Vanessa Kirby. Ellen Burstyn has dropped out of my rankings quite substantially, and there's other people ahead of her that I could see getting in before her, like even Helena Zengel or Dominique Fishback. Like, I think they have a better chance than Ellen Burstyn, because she's just missed everywhere. The SAGs, the Globes, the BAFTAs. I can see an outcome where she surprises, because like I said, it's the same argument as Sophia Loren. Sometimes they just like to give one of their old pros an acknowledgement for like a comeback performance.
Like Kathy Bates or something last year.
Yeah, like Kathy Bates last year, she was a bit of a surprise for Richard Jewell. Like, I didn't have her in my top 5 for supporting actress last year. So there is an outcome where I could see Ellen Burstyn being the Kathy Bates of this year. But I'm not feeling confident enough to put her in my Gold Derby predictions. So
And who is your personal pick again?
Yu Jung-yun. I just love it. I love her performance in Minari. It just makes me feel all warm inside. And she was just wonderful to watch. I just loved the dynamic with her and Alan S. Kim. It was just such a joy to watch. I love watching her. I think the best performance was probably Olivia Colman's. When I watch Olivia Colman in The Father, she just makes emotional acting look so effortless. Like, she just wears her emotions so beautifully on her face, and she's just an incredible actress. I would love to see an outcome where Olivia Colman wins 2 Oscars, because she's Olivia Colman, English treasure, and I think she is the most deserving in terms of performance, but she's so fresh off her previous win for The Favourite. And that's the thing. The Academy don't vote they'll always vote for the best performance.
Yeah.
They vote for who they might need it, whose turn it is, who they think needs acknowledgement, or who has the best narrative. And right now, Glenn Close has the best narrative. So I would want to see either Yoo Jung-yoon or Olivia Colman win it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be Glenn Close because it's just that it's her turn narrative. Give her the damn award. She needs the bloody Oscar. So
I think
I
think it'd be tragic if she won for this.
Thank you. So many people have been giving me grief in my YouTube videos discussing Glenn Close. I'm saying, like, I didn't mind her in Hillbilly Elegy. It's just not the role I would want to see her win for, because it's such a scenery chewing role. And like, she's good in it. Like, she does a good job. And like, given the style of the film being a big melodramatic family film, she does a good job in it.
Yeah.
But can you just imagine, like, of all the performances she's had, that's the one that people go, that's the one she won an Oscar for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I thought The Wife was actually worthy.
She was deserving for The Wife. I think Coleman was more deserving.
Oh yeah, me
if
too.
She won for The Wife.
Agree.
I wouldn't complain. Yeah. So if she had one for The Wife, I wouldn't have complained.
Yeah,
or Dangerous Liaisons, or Fatal Attraction. So.
Exactly. So my personal pick is obviously Amanda Seyfried. But
that's adorable.
Yeah, I would love Jodie Foster to win, or Yoo Jung-yoon. Those are like my favorites. Cool. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Supporting actor. Thoughts?
Yes. Okay, so my top 5 for supporting actor are Daniel Kaluuya, 1 for the win, Sasha Baron Cohen, Leslie Odom Jr., Paul Raci, and Chadwick Boseman for Divine Bloods. How about you?
Yeah, we've got the same picks again, I guess in a slightly different order. My number 1 to win, like you said, Daniel Kaluuya, for sure. Number 2, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami. Number 3, Sasha Baron Cohen. Number 4, Chadwick Boseman. And number 5, Paul Raci. So what do you think about Chadwick and Paul? Because they haven't been getting in everywhere. So do you think there's a chance that they miss it?
Paul Raci, I have more hope for than Delroy Lindo for Best Actor. Like, he did get the BAFTA, and because Sound of Metal is getting a lot of love quite late in, I think he might just have that last minute surge at the end to get in. But he is someone that I can see being snubbed. Like, the evidence speaks for itself, and like where he's been snubbed before, and like he didn't get the SAG nom, and like he kind of needed that. But yeah. The Chadwick Boseman thing, I love Chadwick. I really want him to win Best Actor, and I'm so happy like this is going to be like his moment, the acknowledgement of his legacy and all that. I just don't personally want him in the Best Supporting Actor category, even though it's a perfectly fine performance. I honestly don't see it as one of the best supporting acting performances of the year. It's not even the best supporting acting performance from The Five Bloods that I would nominate. I'd put Clark Peters ahead of him, or Isaiah Washington Jr. before Chadwick Boseman in The Five Bloods. Sorry, getting all gassy and emotional. But I think the Academy are going to give it to Chadwick just because emotions, play a big part in acknowledging people. And I think they will probably want to give Chadwick Boseman the biggest send-off they can with giving him 2 nominations and having him win 1 for Best Actor. But I don't think he needs the second nomination to solidify the legacy, because he's going to win in the Best Actor category. So why take up space in another category when someone else can be acknowledged in some sense? And I would rather see someone else from The Five Bloods nominated, but I don't think it's going to happen. How about you?
No, I totally agree. I was very happy to see Clark Peters nominated to the BAFTAs. I was super happy. Like, I think, when
that was a nice surprise. I didn't see that coming. I was really surprised.
But when I came out of The Five Bloods, I was like, I want I want all of them. Like, I really loved everyone, but I really liked, for the supporting actors, I really liked Isaiah Whitlock Jr., like you said, and Clark Peters as well. However, I do think Chadwick Boseman, out of all of the lists that I can see of potentials, I think I would put him in there out of the possible ones that people were predicting. But I think Daniel Kaluuya is gonna win. Like, I would be shocked if he doesn't win. And
Yeah.
he's my personal pick, so I would love him to win.
Same.
Leslie Odom Jr., I would love him to win as well. I think he's really good as Sam Cooke in One Night in Miami. That's one of my favorite films from last year. I think that's being overlooked quite a lot. Like, I think it's a really, really good film. That's just me.
I have a slightly lukewarm response to it. I liked it, but I just didn't love it. I feel like it's one of those films that will get a lot of Academy nominations, but I feel it'll get forgotten about quite quickly after the Oscars are done. I don't see it having a lot of longevity personally, but the performances in it were good. But personally, my favorite of the performances was Kingsley Ben-Adir for playing Malcolm X. He's the one I would have championed personally, but maybe I'm a little bit biased because he's British, but I don't know. He was the one I really was most impressed by. But he's sort of been sidelined by Leslie Odom Jr.
It's
but
crazy.
That's just me. Yeah. And I do appreciate Leslie Odom Jr.'s performance. I think he's deserving of a nomination. Just, I personally would have gone with Kingsley.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I would have gone with Eli Gorey. I really liked him. Or, I mean, I think all of them are worthy. But I was kind of shocked that Kingsley Ben-Adir, because at first everyone was like, oh, he's getting nominated. And then I don't know where he's gone. It's a shame, I think.
Just didn't happen, really. Sometimes that just happens. Like, it's strange. Like, they just don't have the backing or the momentum. Like, they just fizzle out. It's strange. It happens.
But yeah, so I think Daniel is definitely getting in. He's probably winning. Leslie's getting in. I think Sacha Baron Cohen's getting in. I think Chadwick's getting in. I'm not 100% about Paul Raci, but I did put him as my number 5. I would really like to see Alan Kim getting in.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would
totally
just put a smile on everyone's face as well. Oh, I'd love to see that too. Thinking about it now is making me happy. So that would be a lovely little surprise.
I don't
possibility.
Yeah, and I don't think that Sasha should get nominated personally. I don't think he was the best out of the Chicago 7 people. I would I mean, I wouldn't nominate Chicago 7 for actor really anywhere, I don't think. So that's just me.
The thing is, I like Chicago 7 as an ensemble. I think I said in my review actually of it is that because it's such a big lineup of big names and the resources are spread so thin, no one particular individual shines brightest amongst everyone. Sacha Baron Cohen just has the sort of the big courtroom drama little speech, which I think is what made him stand out. And I'm happy to see him nominated for it. It's just he wasn't even my personal favorite performance of that movie, and that's the risk you play with an ensemble film. If you've got too many people, and literally all the people in trial were all going to supporting, so you're spreading everyone out too thin, I think. So I do see Sasha here, but I don't know about seeing anyone else from Chicago 7. Maybe Mark Rylance or Frank Langella. I'd love to see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as well, but I've given up hope on him. He's just not been showing up anywhere.
I don't know. I liked Trial when I first watched it, and I haven't watched it since like September. But it soured on me only because literally a few days after I watched Mangrove, and Mangrove was just so much better. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't. I know it's like kind of important, but it doesn't sit right in my mind that they're nominating the all white film over. I know Mangrove can't get nominated, but like in my mind, I'm like, we should be celebrating that rather than this film. Because
it's weird. I agree. Like Mangrove is a far more effective film, and yet it doesn't qualify for the Oscars. So exactly what you mean. And the films do sort of tie into each other, so they're sort of like great companion pieces. So in fact, a lot of the films this year sort of tie into each other, like One Night in Miami. They're all sort of around the same civil rights sort of period, which is cool. So Judas, One Night in Miami, Trial, Mangrove. There's a lot of overlap, which is kind of cool. They all sort of like complement each other. It's kind of nice.
And okay, let's move on. Best adapted screenplay. What are your thoughts?
Okay, let me just find out. Okay, so I currently have Nomadland at number 1, then One Night in Miami, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, The Father, and News of the World.
Okay.
How about you?
So very close. Nomadland number 1. Number 2,
Yeah.
One Night in Miami. Number 3, The Father. Number 4, Ma Rainey. Number 5,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about this. It's between News of the World and I put Borat.
Oh no, I can see that.
I
No,
can see
like
a
I've
way
still
that
not.
it's gonna get in because like it's loved and it did get nominations for its screenplay. I
Yeah.
personally think I would like the Mauritanian to get in, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So
Now
thoughts?
that you've said it, because I haven't updated my Gold Derby since a few days ago, so I've still got News of the World as my 5th. But I think I want to change it up now for Borat.
That's fine.
It's just had a nice little surprise bunch of nominations like the last few days. So I can see it getting in here. Plus, didn't the previous Borat get a nomination for screenplay as well? The last Oscars, it was. So yeah, I can totally see them getting behind it. I think I'm going to swap News of the World for Borat subsequent movie film now.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I think this is Chloe Zhao's again to win. I think she's out front for this one.
Yeah, I think she's probably gonna win. My personal pick is One Night in Miami. I think it's a really good screenplay. I'm not the biggest fan of Soul. Like I liked it, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. And I think what he did in One Night in Miami really was amazing. Like I'm telling you, I came out of that film. I watched it twice. I actually saw Kingsley Ben-Adir at the London Film Festival, and that was cool.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah, it was great, and I love One Night in Miami so much, and I really do think that screenplay is very solid, and I think it has a chance. I think no matter,
I would agree,
it's gonna probably win, but I wouldn't be surprised if One Night in Miami takes it.
I agree, because here's the thing. Chloe Zhao is walking away with the direct Oscar.
Yeah.
And sometimes what the Academy like to do is spread the love around. So if they don't want to give Chloe Zhao all the awards, maybe they will favor someone like Ken Powers for One Night in Miami.
Yeah.
But I still think she probably will win it. She's my number 1, and I think she does have a lead slightly, but I don't think it's a lock to win. Like there's definitely some room for someone else to steal it. Yeah. I would actually love to see The Father win it. I love that screenplay. It's such a moving little script. I absolutely adored The Father. So I would love to see a win, but I don't think it will. I just hope it gets the nomination.
Yeah. And so my pick is One Night in Miami. I guess my kind of fantasy picks, I would love if the Mauritanian got in, or I think, although like I really like the film, but I'm not like the biggest fan because it is a bit, I think self-serving a little bit sometimes. I'm thinking of ending things to get in. I think that's like one of the best written, adapted screenplays of the year. Also, French Exit, but that's not going to happen. But just.
Well, it's also Charlie Kaufman for I'm thinking of ending things, and if there's anywhere he'd surprise, it would be here.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't done as well as it should have done. I'm thinking anything. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I could have seen it getting some nominations. And like sometimes in the screenplays, you do get one like of the smaller movies. Like, I could see I'm thinking of ending things here.
Yeah, like
even First Cow. Yeah, First Cow, I could see getting in there with
I
John
don't
Raymond
see
and
First Cow getting in. That's just my thoughts. I just don't think it's had enough major nominations anywhere.
No, it hasn't performed well, but I don't know. Sometimes they can surprise. And,
they can surprise.
And it did win like the New York Film Critics top film of the year, and it made the top list of the National Board of Reviews. Top 10 in the 2020. So I could see it's just surprising here. They might want to acknowledge it.
I think they could do, a couple of years ago, one of my favorite films of that year was The Battle of Buster Scruggs, and it did get in.
Oh,
yeah. That was from obviously the Coens, like very established in the Academy.
Yeah.
And people weren't predicting that, right? I was hoping for it. And I did not.
Happy. I was one of the people said no chance.
And I was so happy that it got in. So that's what I'm playing here. I think there is a chance that I'm thinking of ending things gets in because of Charlie Kaufman, possibly.
Yeah, sure. Like name recognition can go a long way. So who knows? Maybe we will see a surprise there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But let's move on to original screenplay. So picks.
Okay, so my current picks are bear with. Trial of Chicago 7 at 1, then Mank, then Promising Young Woman, then Minari, then Soul. How about you?
Yeah, there's very solid picks. My picks is Trial of Chicago 7, number 1, then Mank, then Promising Young Woman, then Minari, and then I've gone for Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
thoughts on Soul? Why do you think Soul's getting in?
It's one of those wishful noms, but Pixar do have a pretty good track record with screenplays. So, and also it would be nice to see Kent Powers get 2 noms for original and adapted screenplay. That hasn't happened since the 70s, where a writer got a nom in the same year for both screenplay categories. But I think Trial of Chicago 7's winning it because it's Aaron Sorkin and it's where he shines. It's his forte. Promising Young Woman skyrocketed it up because it's just been doing very well recently.
It won at Critics' Choice.
Indeed, and I would love to see it win here. And I do think she could give Aaron Sorkin a run for his money, but I don't know yet. It's still a bit early. I'd like to see a few more wins to confirm that. But I would like to see everyone final acknowledged. But Soul, part of me just thinks it's like the most adult Pixar film we've had. Like, it's a film that really speaks to like ambition and purpose in life, and those are things that a lot of adults, connect with. And I feel like maybe Soul might just speak to enough of the Academy to nominate it for screenplay. And there's an outcome where I could see Sound of Metal take it, or Judas and the Black Messiah, even Defy Bloods. But I don't know, Soul is just one that I'm kind of hoping gets him, but I don't know if it will. Maybe it's just a foolish pick.
In my opinion, I actually haven't thought about Soul. I think it's unlikely. That's just the way I'm predicting. I think
the odds are great on Gold Derby for it.
And the reason I put Judas in, because it did get nominated at the Writers Guild.
It did, yes.
So that was kind of a surprise, and that's why
it was a surprise.
And I think it's totally worthy of getting in, and I would love it if it did. My other picks, like maybe instead of Judas, I think Sound of Metal has a chance. Defy Bloods could get in, but I'm more confident with Judas or Sound of Metal.
I think Judas is a smarter pick. It's definitely smarter than Soul. I'm just sort of going on a gut instinct, whereas you're going with logic. Because Judas does seem more likely to get a Best Picture nomination now. And so more often than not, you need the films that you pick for the screenplay categories usually are up for Best Picture. So Judas probably has a better chance than Soul or Sound of Metal, I would say. So I get why you'd pick Judas and put it in your top 5. I'm just sort of going on a gut instinct for Soul. And
I get it.
He just really wants to see it nominated. Sometimes it's just nice to go with a film you love.
I know. And sometimes you get it right. Like me at the BAFTAs with Another Round. But I also had a suspicion the British people like it more.
Of course they did.
And so my wishful hope here is actually Another Round. I think there is the slightest of chances that it may surprise. I feel like if there's going to be any surprise films, I think it could be that.
It did get the BAFTA nom.
Exactly, that's my thoughts. Like, there's a slight chance.
Who knows? It could have a late surge of popularity,
and
the
also,
Academy might.
No, I was saying at the BAFTAs, the screenplay categories, I believe it was voted by the whole BAFTA people,
right?
Because I think it was the actors and the directors that were voted by the small jury. So a lot of people, like BAFTA has a lot of members. Voted for it, and like I said earlier, there is a large chunk of them that are in the Academy. So
true, there might be some overlap and some influence. So who knows? Fingers crossed. I would love to see it there, but I don't know. I just feel less confident about it at the Oscars. BAFTAs I understand, because it's just a movie that the Brits really loved, but the Academy I'm not so sure on. But I know a lot of people want to see Never Rarely Sometimes Always nominated as well. It's just been heavily it's kind of like the Farewell this year. It's just not getting the nominations it deserves. So I would like to see Never Rarely Sometimes Always here, but that's like a fantasy pick, I think.
And so who's your personal pick? Is it Promising Young Woman?
Yeah. So I love Promising Young Woman. I'd love to see that win. But I think it will be Chicago 7, and deservingly. It's just personal preferences.
Yeah.
Promising Young Woman. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be ultra mad if Trial won. Like, I'd be mad if Aaron Sorkin won for director or if it won for best picture. I think I would be actually mad. Okay, but screenplay, yeah, is good. Like, it's a very good screenplay. But yeah, I guess personally, I'm just not like I said after Mangrove. Its effect has died down on me personally.
Yeah.
So my personal pick is Mank. I not just because it's actually that's a part to play why it's my favorite film, because I think the screenplay is really good, and also it's David Fincher's dad, so maybe there is some sort of narrative behind that.
Yeah, and maybe it's like a Chadwick situation. Maybe they'll have sympathy for Jack Fincher and receive a posthumous award. I think it's unlikely. I think them giving Jack Fincher the nomination is a nice gesture, and I think he will get into the category at least. But winning, it's not out of the realms of possibility. Yeah. But I wouldn't put my money on it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But otherwise, apart from that, I mean, Mank is my pick. I would love. I was really happy when Promising Young Woman won at Critics' Choice the other day for screenplay. So
that was
I would
my
really
favorite result of the Critics' Choice Award. That was like, because most of the Critics' Choice was like, okay, I kind of predicted all this. That was the one I got wrong, but was delightfully happy about. So I was like, yes, go Critics' Choice Awards. Exactly. Did you vote for Promising Young Woman?
For screenplay?
Yeah.
You remember? I voted Promising Young Woman for Best Actress, and she won, so I was really happy. But in screenplay, I'm sorry, I voted Mank. But
fair enough.
But I was so happy to see it. Like that would be my second pick, out of the ones that got nominated. So I was very, very happy. Okay, let's move on to my favorite category normally, cinematography.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So I always like cinematography because I feel like they always have some interesting picks, and I think that is very true with what we saw with the ASC the other day, the American Cinematographers. They voted for Cherry. Now, no one was predicting and I really like that pick, okay?
Oh my God.
I really like the cinematography. I think it's very out there. And I was just like...
Out there is putting it gently, mate. Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know, but I just think it's like, it was a nice, like, out of left field pick. And I feel like they always do this.
Maybe.
I'm
just going to say this. Having all the cinematography does not make it the best cinematography. Oh my God, that film is just bombarded with every stylistic choice and technique that is. And I'm like, God, rein it in a little bit. Good Lord, there was no consistency between the chapters. But that was such a surprise.
Yeah, surprise. Big surprise. But
choices.
I just really like over the years they've chosen some really, really nice surprise picks. Like a couple of years ago, they nominated Never Look Away, which was my favorite film of the year. And I was like, no one was predicting this. I was like, a freaking German film got in for cinematography, and I'm like, yes, this is why I love you guys, because you
didn't the Lighthouse get in last year?
And the Lighthouse, like last year, the cinematography.
It was like the only nomination it got, and it deserved it. But no one was really predicting it. Yeah, so I was happy with the Lighthouse last year.
So they always throw in something very interesting, and I hope they do it this year. And I hope they don't.
You want Cherry to be here?
No, I want Tenet to get in. That's
oh,
mine.
Thank God.
Okay. No, I really like Cherry, but yeah. Anyway, tell me your predictions.
Okay. My 5 are Nomadland at 1, then Mank, then News of the World, then Tenet, and Judas and the Black Messiah. How about you?
Okay, I've got Nomadland at 1. I've got Mank, number 2. I've got number 3 is Tenet. Number 4 is News of the World, and number 5 is Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay, cool. So same ones, just different order. Cool.
Thoughts on Tenet, because
this category?
It didn't get in the other day for the ASC. What do you think?
Which one, sorry?
Tenet. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock. Cherry over Tenet was choices to say the least. This category, I think Tenet will get in. I just think it's got very striking cinematography, and it's something that I think they can get behind. This is the one I'm a little like I could see being bumped for something like Minari or The Five Bloods, maybe. I really don't want to see Trial of Chicago 7 in this category because it's just the most bland cinematography. Yeah, I don't know why it's so high on Gold Derby. It's like the 7 for 8 slot. I'm just like, really? But sometimes they just give out the films that are like Best Picture frontrunners. They do just sometimes give them the awards for like, well, not awards, but they give the nominations for like cinematography or editing, and it's just like, do they really deserve to be here? But yeah, I actually think it's still a two-way race between Nomadland and Mank. I was on like Eric Messerschmitt's team originally, and part of me would like to see him win because I really appreciate the technical aspect of his cinematography, as opposed to Nomadland, where I feel like a lot of the scenery and sunsets and lighting does a lot of the heavy lifting, and it's beautiful. I love it, and I'd be happy to see that win. But there's part of me that really appreciates Eric Messerschmitt's the technical stuff that he has to think about, like composition and lighting and the fact that it's in black and white. And I think I would still be happy to see Eric Messerschmitt win. Like I could see an outcome where it does happen, but I think it's probably going to go Nomadland. It's just got the victories, the numbers behind it.
Yeah, like Nomadland is number one because it's got the numbers. Personally, I don't like the cinematography in Nomadland. That's just me.
Do you not?
No, see, my argument is, okay, this is not my predictions, right? This is just my thoughts, okay? I do cinematography. That's my thing right now at uni. And okay, so my argument is anyone can shoot a sunset. I could shoot a sunset. It can look good. However, you can't, and not everyone can get the composition right. And I think that's what Mank has over Nomadland. I'm not saying Nomadland cinematography is bad. I'm just saying I think most people could do that. And I think what Mank achieved is a lot more. That's just my kind of hot take because everyone likes Nomadland, but I think anyone can shoot a sunset and make it look cool. But
I agree. And that's the thing. I like, I'm not a big fan of the movie Mank, but I really do appreciate the cinematography in it and the production design and the costumes. But there is real skill in the cinematography here, and it's not something everybody can do.
No.
So I get where you're coming from, and I think if I was voting, I probably would go with Mank myself. But I do also love the cinematography in Nomadland. I just think there's more skill on display in Mank than there is Nomadland. But that's just me.
Yeah, and that's why I think, like if it was the cinematographers voting for who won, I think Mank would win. But because they are nominating first just cinematographers, but then afterwards it's everyone, I think Nomadland's gonna win overall.
It's just a more liked film.
Yeah.
More people like Nomadland, I'd say, and it's just
exactly.
It's a very easy on the eyes movie. Like it's
easy on the eyes. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's lovely to look at because where it's shot is gorgeous. There's just so much beautiful open space and so many wonderful shots. So it just makes you want to go out in nature. That film, it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, but my I guess my personal picks, like my dream picks, like obviously I want Mank to win. But I loved Tenet cinematography. I'm the biggest Hoytema fan. I think it's really, really, really freaking good, and it took a lot of skill. Same with Mank. Anyway, and Judas and the Black Messiah, the cinematography is beautiful. The whole film, I was just mesmerized. I was like,
it's very arresting cinematography. It's very, very well shot.
And I guess some dream picks would be so obviously I would choose Mank, Tenet, Judas. Who would I choose? I think I would choose Malcolm and Marie. That would be like a dream pick. I really love the cinematography. And then
got forgotten about Malcolm and Marie, and it is very beautiful, that film. I love how it's shot. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a very, very pretty film.
And I guess my last dream pick, like it's never gonna happen, but like okay, so for Critics' Choice, how they do it is like you can vote for anyone at first, and I voted Mank, Tenet, Judas, and then what else did I just say? Malcolm Marie,
Nomadland.
No, I didn't vote Nomadland. And then I voted Saint Maud. Like, no way it's happening, but like Saint Maud's cinematography is sexy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I love
it is. But yeah,
Oh,
so
well,
in my picks, I do have News of the World there. I watched half of the film and I wasn't really liking it. I need to finish it, so I can't give like a personal thought on it yet. But I see why it's getting in. But I wouldn't be mad if it went. So
Nomadland. So not Nomadland. News of the World is a film I don't particularly like. But if you just watch the trailer, like alone, you can just the cinematography is on display. So like they make sense why that's getting a lot of attention. It is a very gorgeous film. It's very epic in the way that it's shot. So I can see it getting in here as well. And I think it's deserving of the nom. It's just it's not a film I particularly like. So I don't want to see it win or anything.
Okay, so. Yeah, that was interesting. I give him a few hot takes.
Cool.
Okay, costume design. What's your thoughts here?
Oh, 1 sec, just letting the page load. Come on. Sorry, my internet's being slow. There we go. So I have currently Ma Rainey's Black Bottom at number 1, then Mank, then Emma, then Personal History of David Copperfield, and Mulan. How about you?
Okay, so we're pretty close again. My number 1 is Mank. Oh wait,
cool.
Oh wait, my number 1's Ma Rainey. Sorry, I switched that around by accident. Number 1's Ma Rainey. Number 2 is Mank. Number 3 is Emma. Number 4 is Personal History. Number 5, I was debating what I should put, but I put News of the World over Mulan.
Okay. No, yeah, I can see that.
I don't have a specific reason. I just got a feeling that they prefer News of the World and that it might get in.
Yeah, and I can see that logic as well. My logic is like, even though Mulan isn't a good movie, it's the technical aspects of it. Did you like Mulan? I can't remember.
I hated it. I think it's terrible.
Oh, thank God! Sorry, I was about to say we're about to have a conversation here, but I did not like Mulan at all. But I can, because it's Disney and they have the money behind it. They can invest a lot in the costumes and stuff, and the costumes and production design did stand out. I think they were like the 2 things I said that were positive in my review. Is that the costumes are lavish and the sets are great. And I could see it getting in here. I don't want to see it in here, but I think it will be in here because I just think it's probably gonna show up. But I really wanted to see. Oh no, so that's production design. Never mind, that comes later. But yeah, those are my 5 at the moment. I don't have too much to say on this.
Yeah,
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I think, is the rightful winner. Anne Roth, who designed the costume, she's 89 years old, and she'll be the oldest ever nominee and a winner if she wins. And that's just a great little story narrative for someone to win their first Oscar at age 89. I want to see that. I hope the Academy wants to see that. And yeah, I just love the costumes in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. They just bring so much character to the characters as well, and just it's a lovely costume design. So yeah, absolutely adore it.
Yeah, and I was I don't know, maybe I just haven't been looking close enough, but I was kind of surprised the other day when it won like costume, because I really thought Mank was like gonna win.
Yeah. Now Mank, there's a logic to Mank as well, because it's a Hollywood film. It's set in Hollywood, and like the Academy loves a movie that's set in Hollywood and is a period Hollywood movie. So I could see it being a winner here, but yeah, Ma Rainey is just, I think it's got the wins now as well. I think there's a nice narrative as well for it to win. So yeah, Ma Rainey seems like the best choice in my opinion. I think will be the winner.
Yeah, I think it will be. My personal choice again is Mank. Sorry, but it's just the costumes are great. And then I would, I don't think it's likely, but I would like to see like Promising Young Woman get in.
I had Promising Young Woman not too long ago. I rewatched it, and oh my God, the costumes, people aren't giving that film enough credit for the costumes as well. Like when you watch the evolution of Cassie's outfits and stuff and what they sort of symbolize, there is so much thought put into the costumes. And I would love to see it show up here, but it's not even that high on Gold Derby. It's like 9th or 10th or whatever. So yeah, the odds are not in its favor, but if it did show up here, I would be very happy because I just love that movie. I could also see United States versus Billie Holiday getting here. That's another one where didn't like the movie, but the costumes are absolutely stunning. Like they just take your breath away. So I could see that getting in here as well, bumping something off like Mulan or even Personal History of David Copperfield. I think Emma's got a good chance of being in there. It's just it's just the costumes just leap off the screen in that movie. So I think Emma's pretty much a safe bet. But I could see Mulan.
I pretty much agree. I mean, some out there picks like, what I personally voted for. Like, I mean, I really love Judas's costumes. I really wish Judas got in. I'm just there's this, the opening scene where he has the Humphrey Bogart get up and everything like that. I'm like, bro, this is so freaking cool. Like the costumes are great, and I was freaking out when I saw it.
Bless your cotton socks.
And then I would really like. It's not gonna happen, but I would have loved Tenet to get in, like those suits and everything they're wearing.
It's a movie with style, but it's not something where I go, oh, the costumes are, like it's because it's set in contemporary times. It's just like, okay, it's very modern, it's very now, but there is a lot of style to it. But at the same time, the costumes weren't like a big selling point of Tenet for me. But that's just me. My general rule of thumb for costumes and production design is go with the period films. The period films, more often than not, are the ones that get the noms because they do the biggest job of transporting you into the world. So rather than something that's contemporary. So that's my logic. Very rarely do contemporary movies get the nomination for costume design. Remember La La Land got a nomination for costume design. I was like, really?
But it's great. The costumes are so good.
They are, but if you watch like the extras in like the opening scene, on the bridge, they're all just wearing like Primark block t-shirts. I wear that in my bloody YouTube videos. So just like they're just dressed like I'm dressed. So, but like when you think of the iconic scenes, like the the dance, the tap dance, and the yellow dress, yes, it's become synonymous with the movie's poster and the image. So yeah, I get why it got the nom for that. But
okay,
tangent there.
All right, let's move on to the next category. We got best film editing. I think there is some picks that could definitely get in, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay, so my 5 picks for editing are Trial of Chicago 7 at 1, Nomadland, The Father, Mank, and then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. How about you?
Trial of Chicago.
Sorry. I'm reading the wrong side. Sorry. My 5th pick was not Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It was Promising Young Woman. There you go. Sorry.
Mine is Trial of Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Mank, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman. Is that the same?
Oh yeah, you got the Sound of Metal. I don't have that, but that's cool.
Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty confident with this. However, I gotta say I'm not 100% sure on Promising Young Woman. I feel like Trial, Sound of Metal, Mank, and Nomadland are pretty secure. I think Tenet could totally get in, and I think The Father can get in. I would really love Tenet to get in. I think that was a lot to freaking juggle, and I think
Nolan fanboy. Yes, no.
But yeah, what's your thoughts on the picks?
I think it's Alan Bamberton, isn't it, for Trial of Chicago 7? I think this is like his to win. Like usually with editing, the film with the flashiest editing wins at the Oscars. It's why bloody Bohemian Rhapsody won for that Live Aid scene.
Yeah.
Child. Yeah, but the Trial of Chicago 7, I can imagine the clip they're sending out to everyone is the scene where the 3 different narrative strands are overlapping as they tell the story. So that's really well done. It's a really powerfully effective scene. And it's really well edited. So I can see that winning. I mean, I could see Nomadland winning it, but it's not editing that really stands out to me. Like it's very well edited, but it's not like, wow, I'm really aware of the editing. I was very aware of the editing in Trial of Chicago 7 because of how effective it was. But Nomadland's just such a nice, lazy film. Like it's purposely slow and there's lots of long takes, and it's just like there's not a lot of whole editing involved, if you ask me. It's sort of, it just meanders along as a film. It's a very nice, lazy film. So the editing isn't something that stands out to me. The film that I really want to see win, though, is The Father, because of how effectively it works to give you that feeling of like being in Anthony Hopkins' head and feeling disoriented and confused as to what's going on. And it's just so well done that you feel exactly how he's feeling when it's happening. It works in tandem with Anthony Hopkins' performance. It's so good. And it's why I prefer it, because it's more subtle in terms of editing, but it still is just as effective as The Trial of Chicago 7. Whereas The Trial of Chicago 7, you're aware of the editing and you enjoy it. But with the Father, I wasn't aware of it, but I was very absorbed by it. So that's what I like about it. It's like the editing works, it's effective. It's not flashy, but it's really powerfully done. So that's why I would love to see The Father win, because it works just so well.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Trial was gonna win. I know it seems like I'm biased, but I think Mank should win. I'm really
noticing a pattern here. Yes.
Yeah. For me, it would be between, like, I know Tenet has a chance. I don't think it's gonna get in. But if Tenet did get in, I would love it to win as well as Mank. That's just my personal thoughts. Promising Young Woman, I think I would like to win as well. But I'm not 100% sure it's going to get in. But yeah,
it's my fifth, so I'm like, I could see Sound of Metal getting it, because it did win, didn't it? The Critics' Choice split, didn't it, with Trial of Chicago 7? Am I right?
Yeah, Sound of Metal did. That's why it's in my picks.
I can see it getting in. It's just Promising Young Woman, I'm holding out for. It's sort of my. I think it will, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm hoping it will. So fingers crossed. But I can see Sound of Metal getting in because of its win at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah. Okay. Makeup and hair. I think this is pretty much solid. Like, I don't have that much to say about it. What's your picks?
Bear with me 1 second. So I have. Who do I have? Oh yeah, so from hair and makeup, I've got Ma Rainey at number 1 again, like costume. Then I've got Mank, Hillbilly Elegy, Emma, and I have Birds of Prey here, but I think I want to switch it to Pinocchio. What about you? Yeah, I haven't seen Pinocchio, but I've seen clips of the makeup process, and it looks so elaborate and detailed. So, it's one of those films where I think that could be just what the people behind it really push to get the one nomination with makeup. So I could see it getting in here, just on that alone. But Birds of Prey did, well, it's Buddy Suicide Squad managed to win hair and makeup back so many years ago. Yeah. So my logic is, if Suicide Squad can win it, then Birds of Prey, being in the same universe, the same sort of movie team, I think it can get in. So that's my logic for putting it at 5, but I could see it being bumped for something like Pinocchio.
Yeah, I get that. Pinocchio, I don't think enough people have seen it. I think English people have seen it because it came out in cinemas when they reopened. However, I don't know if enough Americans have seen it. I haven't heard much from Americans. So I'm not putting Pinocchio in mine. I guess it could be the only surprise that's possible, but like I said, I'm pretty set on, I think, so my picks is Ma Rainey, Hillbilly, Mank, Birds of Prey, and Emma. I think Ma Rainey's probably going to win. I think Hillbilly Elegy has a good shot at winning because it's very over the top. They like the over the top hair and makeup and things like that. I think again, I think Mank should win. I think they do a really freaking good job with obviously recreating the era. But yeah, I just think it's pretty much going to be Ma Rainey, I think.
Yeah, I think Ma Rainey's who I want personally to win. I could see something like Hillbilly Elegy winning, just because there's a lot of prosthetics on Glenn Close and Amy Adams. Like they do a really good job of making it look seamless and haggard, and it really is quite convincing. So I could see Hillbilly Elegy surprising there. But I think Ma Rainey being a more beloved film and a Best Picture contender, more people will see it. More people will probably vote for Ma Rainey. I do really love the detail in Ma Rainey as well, particularly on Viola Davis and the eyes and the makeup. Like, just it's just so perfectly done. I think it was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
No, it's a solid pick, and I wouldn't be mad if Ma Rainey won. Definitely my second pick. Okay, let's move on to production design.
Yes.
What's your picks?
So my number one is Mank, then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, News of the World, The Father, and Emma. Oh no, sorry. These are my old predictions. Sorry.
You don't have
I had
Tenet?
The Father. I don't have Tenet. So actually, give me 1 second. So my 5 are Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, News of the World, Emma, and I'm gonna go with. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna stay with The Father. I want The Father to be there. It's not getting any nominations in the production design categories anywhere, but I will justify it in a reason in a second. Why? Yeah. You give me your 5.
Okay. So I go number 1, Mank. It's been winning everywhere. I think it's the only place. Like, I think it's literally been the only winner out the whole award season. Like, I don't think anyone else has won. My number 2 is Tenet. My number 3 is Ma Rainey. My number 4 is Emma. My number 5 is News of the World.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, my 5 again: Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, News of the World, The Father, and Emma. So The Father is quite low on Gold Derby predictions, but this just ties in with the editing. And my reason for why I want it in, or why I think it could sneak in here, is because the production design is so cleverly linked to how Anthony Hopkins' character is feeling. Like, it's just the scenery is jumping around. It's confusing. It's meandering. It's purposely disorienting, and I think they really do reflect it in the production design. Like, it's so I feel like I'm rambling. The Father is so good on a second watch because you see the things that you don't spot in the first time you watch it, and how they move things around from, like, when they're at the doctor's office, you can see things from the doctor's office in their flat. So things are being swapped around, and it's really well done. I really do admire the visual language of storytelling shown in The Father through production design. And I think it's deserving of a nomination, but I do think it could be snubbed here for something like The Midnight Sky, or you've put Tenet quite high. I haven't got Tenet in mind. Again, my logic is go with the period films. Tenet's not a period film, but I haven't put it in my 5. Tell me why it's in yours.
It's just been, I think the production design generally has been talked about quite a lot in terms of its chances at the Oscars. I also think, it got nominated in, well, definitely Critics' Choice, and right? I swear,
I think so,
and like a couple of other places. I don't know. It's just been popping up, and I just got a strong feeling it's going to show up. Like, that's just my thoughts. I wasn't sure about News of the World. I'm debating whether it's News of the World or Mulan. They're interchangeable. I'm not so sure about The Father. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I seem to be the only one that thinks The Father, and like, I think in my previous Oscars vid, I took it out of my predictions because it's not been nominated anywhere. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe it could get the Oscars, and I want to see it nominated. To me, it's one of the best displays of production design this year. But yeah, Mank is going to win this. Like, it just has to. Sure. Like, it's the clear and obvious pick here. Again, it's a Hollywood film, and it's a period film. They love that stuff. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last year won this award, the production design. It's the obvious pick here. It's just what else is going to be in the category is up for this debate. I haven't got Mulan. I could see Mulan being in here, and I could also see Tenet being here. My logic is Tenet is so shot on location. Like, there's a lot of it just shot with characters like walking places and talking and what have you, and that's like.
But what about the booth though? With the turnstiles.
Yeah, no, and I get why that would be acknowledged. It's just so much of the film I feel like is just shot on location and whatnot. But I won't be surprised if it gets nominated, but I'm resistant to put it in mine. That's all. So
I get that. Good predictions and good picks. I mean, my personal choice would be Mank. I would love if Tenet.
Mine's Mank.
If it got in. but I think Mank is definitely going to win, and it should win.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to best original score. Now, this is an interesting one. So, what's your picks?
So I have Soul at number 1, then Mank, then News of the World, then Minari, then Tenet. How about you?
Tenet 5. That's interesting. Number 1 is Soul. Number 2 is Mank. Number 3 is Tenet. Number 4 is News of the World. Number 5 is Minari.
Oh, so we have the same, just different order. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we can safely say that John Batiste and Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are, well, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are the top 2 picks. So, but John Batiste joins them for Soul. So it's safe to say they're going home with that trophy, and I think everyone's feeling confident it's going to be Soul, and I think that's the right pick.
Yeah, I'm very confident Soul's going to win. I personally would choose Tenet. I just love that score. Out of anything I've watched in a long time, that score I just can't stop listening to. It's constantly playing in my head, and I would just so love if Tenet won. However, my second pick is Mank, and I think Mank has a slightly better chance. But I think Soul's going to win it. It's just been winning everything. But I really love Mank. Like, my favorite scores of the year was Tenet and then Mank. So very solid. And I like, personally, I like Soul's score, but I kind of forgot. It's kind of a bit forgettable for me compared to Mank. That's just my thoughts. I know that's very unpopular, but
at least you're self-aware enough to know. Now, I love Soul because of the contrast of the two world, the soul world and the musician-y jazz New York. I love that. I love what both sets brought to the soundtrack, and it feels Disney-ish, but at the same time it feels very unique as its very own strong flavors. Soul, so really just stand out in the Disney pantheon of soundtracks as well. And we haven't had a best score from Pixar since Up, and that was like what, 2009 or 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's time. And that was Michael Giacchino, but now it'd be nice to see Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and John Batista win that. James Newton Howard for News of the World seems quite logical, and I wasn't a fan of the movie. I liked the score though; it was very sweeping and majestic. He did a great job. Tenet is Ludwig Göransson, right?
Yeah, and he won.
Yeah, so
Black Panther.
Yeah, so I think he'll be here, but sorry, my voice. Minari, I have higher. I just feel like the very first scene of Minari just hits you with that lovely score, like when they're driving up to the trailer. It really hits you. It really gets you immersed into it, and I love that. So yeah, I mean, we both have the same 5. They're just slightly reorganized, but my pick is Soul to win, and I wanted to see it win. So, yeah.
No, I get that. Yeah, I think Soul is definitely going to win. I would personally love Tenet or Mank, but the reason why I say Tenet is my favorite is I think it's the most creative out of all of these. Like, I've never heard a score like Tenet before. I think that's my main thing, and I love it.
Fair enough. I'm having trouble recalling it now, but yeah, I need to give it a listen. The one thing I also say to keep an eye on is the little things. I know, like, the movie itself is just sort of like droning along, but it's Thomas Newman who did that score, and Thomas Newman's been nominated like 13 times with no wins, so don't count him out. He could surprise you. I don't know. Like, he really hope he doesn't get nommed, but it's not. I haven't seen the little things, so I don't know. But I'm just saying it could. So bad. It could be. Yeah. Yes, I thought so. I really don't want Jared Leto to get nominated for it.
No way. He is the worst in the film. Oh my god. He's actually bad. He's plays
campaigning his heart out though. God, he's really campaigning for it. So if he does show up there, I'm going to be cross, especially if it's over Paul Raci.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to best original song. What is your picks?
So I currently have Speak Now, then Scene from The Life Ahead, then Fight for You from Judas and Black Messiah, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, and Turntables from All in a Fight for Democracy. You?
Yeah, I got number 1, I have Scene from The Life Ahead. I have number 2, Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Then number 3, Fight for You, Judas and Black Messiah. Number 4, Hear My Voice, The Trial of Chicago 7. Number 5, I wasn't 100% sure on this pick, but I just put it in. the Wuhan flu from. That was a funny song, okay, and I think it does have a shot, possibly.
This may be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but there's no real songs of this year where I've gone, oh, that's the obvious choice. Like, I think it's a pretty underwhelming year for songs. Like, I can't even think how Speak Now or Scene goes, and the only song out of the 5 that I've got that I kind of know the song to is Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest. That's it's a song that's really in the movie. It's not a trailer song or like, just in the background, whatever. It's a real moment in the movie, and it's a beautiful ballad as well. And it's a silly comedy with Will Ferrell. So I don't know, are people going to take it seriously? But I would like to see it in there. And if I'm being honest, that's probably the one that I would want to see win, but just because I don't really know what the other ones sound like. I've listened to them, but I've forgotten them. That's the thing. I don't know. There's no real longevity with them. There's nothing here like. Sorry, go on.
No. I was pretty much agreeing with you. I was just saying, this year they're quite forgettable. The ones they've put on the list.
Like, if we had the Bond movie this year, we would have had Billie Eilish with the No Time to Die, is it? Whatever it is. Like, that probably would have been everyone's number one if we got that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing here this year like Shallow or a Disney Let It Go or anything like that. There's nothing. All these songs, they just feel like songs they play over the trailers, or not the trailers, over the credits. Yeah. So there's nothing really here that I go, oh, I know the words to that one. I know Shallow. I know Let It Go. I know
all of La La Land.
Yeah, exactly. But no, there's nothing here where I'm like, yeah, these are the songs that I've got stuck in my head or whatnot. There's nothing here that's got much longevity, if you ask me. Yeah. I mean, even last year with Elton John winning, I can't remember the name of the song that won last year with Elton John and whatever. But yeah, it's just a bit of an underwhelming year personally. I don't know. There's probably a lot of love for these songs, but it's a category where I think it's a two-way race between Scene and Speak Now. But I don't really care who wins. I mean, if Diane Warren wins finally for The Life Ahead, that's great. But Leslie Odom Jr., I'm a fan of as well, so I'd like to see him win as well. But I don't actually genuinely care. The songs don't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's very underwhelming this year. And you're right. And most of these songs are credit songs. And like, even though I love One Night in Miami, I didn't remember Speak Now until I was sent it by by Amazon, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty good, but I totally forgot about it, So Speak Now is like my personal pick because I actually think it's a pretty good song. However, I agree with you. I don't think any of these songs are rememberable, and we're gonna remember them, past this year. And maybe that's because there's not many musicals that are this year. So these are pretty much just like songs that are a little bit shoved into the film, I don't know, less seamless, less rememberable. I think maybe out of all of these, like you said, Eurovision or like the Wuhan flu, I feel like people remember that one because that's in the film and it plays a big part. So
it's a moment in the film. It's actually a scene built around it as well. So, and that has more longevity than a song that plays over the credits. So I get what you're saying, but it'll probably be Leslie Odom Jr. or Diane Warren. But,
and I'm rooting for Speak Now because I think it's a pretty good song. Like I said, I totally forgot after I watched the film. Like I didn't catch it really. Fight for You, Judas. I did not notice that was in the film. Like I love Judas, but then I listened to it afterwards, and I don't think it's like the best song. So and
it's just got like an urgent and timely message in it now. So I guess that's why people care about it. But
I don't remember Hear My Voice from Trial. I don't remember that. So I don't know.
Yeah. The fact that it's one that was mad that is surprising.
Yeah, and one that was mad that didn't get in, which is my favorite one, was from Tenet, the Plan. I actually I normally not a fan of any music like that, but man, it stuck in my head, and I was listening to that nonstop, and like it actually plays a big part in the film because it plays part in the truck scene, and they incorporate the score with the song. And after you listen to the song and you listen to like the final trailer that they released, and then you hear it in the film, and for me, it was very overwhelming. And I was just really mad that it didn't even get put on the long list.
Oh, poor Tenet fanboy.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's go over to best sound. What's your picks?
Yeah. Bear with me one sec whilst it loads. Come on, internet. All right. So my sounds as of now are number 1 is Sound of Metal, then Mank, then Tenet, then Soul, then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. You?
Yeah, that's interesting. My number 1 is Sound of Metal. Number 2 is Tenet. Number 3 is Mank. Number 4 is Greyhound, and number 5 is Soul.
Cool.
So what's
you went with Greyhound? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I like that you've given Greyhound some acknowledgement. I didn't like the film, but again, it's one of those films where I can see them really pushing just the sound in it, to get a nomination. So it's not an outlandish pick in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of those films that's probably been underseen, so I don't think it will make the cut. But yeah, Sound of Metal, that is the one for me. I think it's the clear and obvious front runner because it's the one film this year where you really take notice of the sound. Like it's part of how it makes you feel immersed in Riz Ahmed's world and all that. So yeah, it's the most effective of the sound for me out of all the picks this year. So I think that's the clear winner.
Yeah, no, yeah, I totally think it's working. Also, it doesn't do them bad that it's got sound in the title. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
conspiracy. Yes.
Yeah. No, but I picked Greyhound because I don't know. I just seen it, like it got nominated at the Audio Society, whatever it's called, the other day, and I think they're gonna pick it because it is like very bombastic. It's like kind of crazy war stuff.
It's a war film. They like war films for sound. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Soul is probably going to get in. They got nominated the other day as well, and it's to do with music, so it makes sense. My personal pick would be Tenet. For me, it was
really for sound.
Yeah, it was the most evocative.
Please justify this. I'm sure people at home want to know, why do you like the sound in Tenet when that was one of the major criticisms of it?
No, yeah, no, I get that it was loud and some people had some trouble with the dialogue. I had occasional trouble like the first time. However, I think it was more, I didn't really mind that I didn't get like maybe 2-3 words, the first time. Okay, admittedly, I've seen Tenet in the cinema like 5 times, okay? But it was just like there was something about Tenet's sound that was so evocative, and it really got a lot out of me. And so that's why it's my personal pick. Like the score blasting through, like being super overwhelming, like all the gunshots going off, and like for me it was just like the best sound experience of the last year.
That's cute, because when you say overwhelming, sometimes that can be something that people dislike, being overwhelmed by sound and score drowning everything out. And that's what a lot of people were complaining about, just not being able to hear what was going on because it was just so poorly mixed, and just like the music was getting all the attention rather than the dialogue, which is why a lot of people found it frustrating. But yeah, if Tenet does win sound, I don't think it will, but if it does win, there will be some comments on Twitter. People will be like, that clip of Bohemian Rhapsody with the shit editing, where they're all sitting down outside. People will make a compilation of all the sound moments of Tenet and say, this just won best sound at the Oscars, and all the most loud, bombastic, clearly bad moments of sound mixing and editing all in one clip. I could just see that happening. This is what won best sound. But yeah, I don't think it will win. I do think it will be nominated, but I don't think it will win. Yeah, I think Sound of Metal is the front runner. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to best visual effects. Talking about Tenet again. What's your pick?
Yes. I have Tenet at number 1, so you can be happy about that. And then Midnight Sky, Mank, the one and only Ivan, and Welcome to Chechnya. You?
So I have never heard of Welcome to Chechnya, so I don't know.
The documentary.
Put that in. Okay, so my number 1 is Tenet. My number 2 is The Midnight Sky. My number 3 is Mank. Number 4 is Mulan, and my number 5 is Birds of Prey.
Okay. Explain to me. Actually, no. I can understand Birds of Prey because it's a superhero movie, and they do tend to do well. I had Birds of Prey actually last predictions vid, and I also had I had so I can't talk. Birds of Prey, and then I swapped it for Welcome to Chechnya because of the visual effects Bake Off thing. Apparently, Welcome to Chechnya did really well there. Like, it was very well received. So I bumped Welcome to Chechnya for Birds of Prey. Although I could still see it getting in. The reason I put the one and only Ivan in is because past history of the Academy, they have gone from movies with like monkeys and all that. So King Kong, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and all those, The Jungle Book. So my logic is that, well, there's a pattern there. Maybe they'll go with that. And I think they did quite enjoy it at the Bake Off as well. So those are my 5. Tenet, I think, is the clear winner, but Midnight Sky could surprise. And then everything else is just, filling up the last spot. So Mank, the one and only Ivan, Welcome to Chechnya. And I wouldn't be surprised if something did show up random here, like Soul, maybe. Like, it's weird to think of an animated film getting nominated for visual effects, but I could see it happening. So, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in those picks.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I mean, I haven't heard of Welcome to Chechnya. That's just my bad.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of it, and I get why people are going crazy over it. So yes, it's a nice blend.
Yeah, and I guess I just went Birds of Prey and Mulan over the one and only Ivan because of the superhero-y Disney stuff. Like, that gets a lot. And I don't know. I just I really don't want the one and only Ivan to get in. Like, it's such a bad film. It's so
that's fair. Yeah,
terrible.
That's fair.
And I don't think the CGI is very good, but that's just my personal opinion coming into it. But I mean, they've done stuff like that much better, like Planet of the Apes and stuff. But
yeah, and I could see one and only Ivan getting bumped for Birds of Prey or Soul. So I'm not 100% sure in my nominations, but the last 2 I can see being bumped out for something. So
yeah.
Cool.
Okay, let's move on to some of the final categories. We're not going to go into the short films, if that's all right, because I haven't seen any of them, so I don't really have anything to say. I mean, you can touch on them at the end if you want. But animated films, animated feature. What is your predictions? I think we probably got this.
It's Soul number 1, Wolfwalkers, Over the Moon, Onward, and The Croods: A New Age. How about you?
Bang on, exactly the same.
Identical. I think it's actually how the order on Gold Derby has Onward above Over the Moon, but I put Over the Moon above Onward.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like it's all loved, and I think this category, like, it's gonna be pretty much solid. Like, there's no way Soul doesn't win, and I think they pretty much solidified that these are the favorite animated films. I mean, Shaun the Sheep, I guess, has a chance. I would like Shaun the Sheep to get in because I think they always have great animation.
They do. They're often overlooked as well. But The Croods: A New Age did better than expected, and I think they will get in now. So I feel confident about being the 5th slot. But you never know, they could swap it for Shaun the Sheep or maybe the Willoughbys.
Could be. Okay, let's move on. Documentary. What's your picks?
Documentary. This is one where I think is still quite open, but my picks are. Oh, bear with me 1 second. So my picks are Boys State, Time, Crip Camp, All In for Democracy, and Collective. How about you?
Yeah. So. I don't know. I'm never good at predicting documentaries because generally I don't watch as many as I do other films, and that's my bad.
An area I'm weak. Yeah.
But my predictions are Time, Collective, The Truffle Hunters, Dick Johnson is Dead, and I mean, I would say, like, probably Boys Date. That's what I put. So I'm not 100%
Yeah.
on this category, but I put Truffle Hunters. I know it's a bit lower, but it's been getting in like everywhere. And I think people really like that. And also, it must be noted that I think one of these films that people are thinking is going to get in is probably going to get snubbed because they always snub like Apollo 11. The year before, there was something big like the Fred
Won't You Be My Neighbor got
Rogers.
snubbed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. That's why I'm worried about Dick Johnson Is Dead, because that seemed to be like the early favorite, and there's just always usually a little bit of a surprise snub here. So I could see Dick Johnson being snubbed, but honestly, I'm not even sure which one I think is going to win at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a really open race. This is one of the categories like best actress or best supporting actor where it's quite open, like it's anyone's guess at this point. But yeah, I can see something like Time winning it, or even Boys State that seems to be doing quite well. It's really resonating as well because it's quite timely and prescient. But yeah, maybe something like Collective could win it as well. I don't know. It's a tough one, this one. I really don't have a great insight into this category. I just haven't seen enough of them to know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't have a specific winner. I think anyone can win, but I think Time is the most generally beloved. So
yeah, I'd agree, and I think I'd probably put that as my personal number one, but it could change. I also haven't seen enough of them to know which is my personal favorite. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Time for now.
Okay. Okay, so our final round of picks, final round. What's your number one?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Is best international feature, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool beans. So my top 5 for this one is Another Round, number 1. Then Two of Us, then Covedas Ida, then Collective, then Dear Comrades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, no, those are good picks. My number 1 is Another Round. My number 2 is Two of Us. My number 3 is actually La Llorona. My number 4 is Cuvedas. I don't know how to say it.
I don't know if I'm saying it right either, mate.
Anyway, that film, that got a lot of love from BAFTA, so I think
it did. Yes,
I think it's getting in. Collective is my number 5, so I'm really confident. I think it's nearly impossible that Another Round doesn't win. Like,
yeah, it seems like the obvious pick in this one, and it's the only one that I feel like has the real word of mouth buzz. Like, it's just like a lot of people just really love that film. So I mean, if Minari had somehow ended up in this category, but thankfully it's not, it can qualify for Best Picture, that would have probably given a run for its money. But Another Round, it's the strongest contender, I think, and I would be shocked if it didn't win. Like, it just seems like the most logical pick for them.
Yeah, and I think it's like a good redemption for the film, because like, if the rules weren't like they were and Minari wasn't in all of the different places, and personally I think Minari shouldn't have been in foreign language because it is an American film.
American film.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think Minari should have been up and running like at the Golden Globes. And I feel bad for Another Round because, like, yes, I'm happy Minari's winning, but I think Another Round is it's in the right category, So I don't know. I just feel kind of bad for it, but I think this would be a little bit of a redemption for the film because I think it's worthy in like so many categories, and it should get in, and that's why I was really happy with BAFTA, that it got like Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Foreign Film. Like, I was all over that.
We all were. I was freaking out, mate. Yeah. So many Brits were.
Yeah, and I'm just so happy that it's probably going to win, and I'll be shocked, and I'll be a little bit mad if it doesn't win, because it's literally, I voted in Critics' Choice, and I voted it everywhere. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm glad.
I tried to get it. But
yeah, I think it will. It's a film that everyone pretty much likes. I don't know. Like, I haven't heard many people speaking negatively about it, so it would be surprising if it didn't win here. It really would be. So
yeah. Okay, so that's our picks. If you want to touch on the shorts, you can do that if you want.
Yeah, quickly. So for best animated short, I have If Anything Happens, I Love You, Out, Burrow, Opera, and Snail and the Whale. I had Out originally as my number one, but I watched If Anything Happens, I Love You last week, and it's one of the most beautiful, powerful bits of cinema I've ever seen. And it's just a short. It's on Netflix. It's only 12 minutes long. It's executive produced by Laura Dern as well, and she's an Academy board member. So it's got everything working in its favor to win. The reason I had Out before is because it's Pixar, and also it's an LGBTQ plus positive type movie, and I loved it. And part of me would be happy to see that win as well. But If Anything Happens, I Love You is just more urgent in terms of like what it addresses. And if you haven't seen it, guys, watch it. It is so freaking good. Burrow is also Pixar. It's cute, but I don't think it's anything special. But I can see it being nominated. Opera, I haven't seen. The Snail and the Whale is British produced, which is why I'm like a little bit biased for that one. So that's why I'm going with that. But yeah, my smart money is on If Anything Happens, I Love You to win. And maybe Out could be a potential upset. For best documentary short, I've got A Love Song for Latasha, What Would Sophia Loren Do, Colette, Abortion Helpline, This Is Lisa, and A Concerto Is a Conversation. I've only watched the Netflix submissions for this one, so I love Song for Latasha, Sophia Loren, and the Speed Cubers. And I love the Speed Cubers. It's a little doc about the Rubik's Cube champions of the world, which I loved. I just think it's a bit too niche for documentary short, but I would love to see it nominated, but I haven't put it in my five. What would Sophia Loren do? Because she's kind of everyone's name. She's on everyone's lips at the moment. And I could see them just acknowledging the documentary, which celebrates her career, as a way of acknowledging her if she doesn't get into Best Actress. And I love Song for Latasha. It's just very, very powerful. It's on Netflix. It's my number one. I could see it winning. And it's all about this black girl that was murdered in the 90s at a convenience store. And it's about like, it's resonant because of the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's just it's an urgent documentary. It's the most important of the Netflix ones, I'll say that. The other ones I haven't seen yet, like Colette and Abortion Helpline, This Is Lisa, but I think they're going to get in. Those are my picks there. And best live action short, the only one that I've seen is The Human Voice, sold out of the BFI. And yeah, I think that's the clear front runner. It's all the Swinton star power, Pedro Almodovar director, so it makes sense that people would want to watch that one and nominate it. Oscar Isaac's in The Letter Room, so he's my second. Then Feeling Through, which features the first performance from a deaf and blind actor. So that's like something I think the Academy will want to acknowledge. And then I put B2, which is getting a lot of love. I haven't seen it, but it's getting a lot of talk. And then I put, what did I put last? Dai as fifth. So I haven't seen it, just a guess, but that's my logic for live action short. And that's me done.
No, that's some good stuff, and like I'm really bad at getting to the shorts. I mean,
yeah,
that's just
there's always the last thing I watch when it comes to award season. They're always the last things I watch before.
They're just not super accessible. I don't know, or I can't find them.
Not all of them. The ones that are on Netflix are the most accessible. So, and I really recommend If Anything Happens, I Love You. That is, oh my God, like, everyone needs to watch that. It's an essential piece of cinema. Honestly, give it a watch tonight, mate. You'll love it.
Yeah, and I definitely, like, I was so mad that I missed out on The Human Voice because I'm such a big Pedro Almodovar fan. But I haven't been able to watch it yet. I missed it at all the festivals. I swear. Like, I was this close every time. But yeah, so
that's good. It's really good. Yeah, it's just a beautiful little short. And I can see it winning. It's just got so much big names behind it, and I can just see them championing that. So
yeah,
cool.
But yeah, so that is our long video of our Oscar nominations predictions. The nominations come out this Monday at 12 p.m. UK time, right?
I think it's 1:30 because I've set my YouTube live stream for 1:10 so I can do a little quick talk about who I think is going to show up, and then I think it starts at 1:30 Greenwich Mean Time, but in the States it's like 5 a.m. on the East Coast, I think, or the West Coast.
Yeah, I think it's 5 a.m. West Coast, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the Oscars. I always do look forward to it. I think this year there is a lot of very solid films. I think, I don't think it's the best year in terms of
Yeah,
films. Like, there's been some much better years, in my opinion. Um,
definitely. It's an
but
exciting year though.
it's an
Like
exciting year.
it is an exciting year because it's so topsy-turvy. Like no one knows what's going to happen, and it's already been proven in the precursors that it's anyone's game really. So it's what makes it exciting, and I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as always. It's like one of my favorite nights of the whole year. I enjoy watching all of the precursors, like the Golden Globes and Critics' Choice. There were some nice surprises. I was very happy with some of them, like Promising Young Woman winning screenplay at Critics' Choice was cool. Jodie Foster winning at the Golden Globes, or the Andra Day upset. Like, I was very shocked, So I like those twists, and I hope the
love
nominations we get some twists, and I'm really banking on some of those twists, I think.
Yeah, no, we live for the surprises and the snubs, and it's just the drama of it all, the pageantry. Oh,
that was great.
Sessions.
But anyway, so thanks for joining me today, Luke, and
thanks so much for having me, mate. It's been a pleasure. It's nice to catch up with you again.
No, it's great, and next year maybe we can do it in person or something, at some point.
Yes, that'd be nice. No, I'm sure whenever they reopen the cinemas and the screeners are happening again, I'm sure we will cross paths again, mate. Yeah, that'll be lovely. Keeping my fingers crossed for that. Sometime before the end of 2021, please.
Yeah, well, they're opening in May in the UK, so they will start press screenings when they open, because they did that with Wonder Woman in December
and Tenet yes.
before.
Yeah.
I actually watched, talking about BAFTAs, I watched Rocks. That was my first press screening back. So really cool.
No, I love Rocks.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a reaction to the Oscar nominations on Monday. Luke's having a live stream, so go check out.
Yes, if you're a fan of Oscars content, I do a lot of it on my channel. Then I'll put a link in the description to mine. So if you want to check out my Oscar predictions, my reactions, my ranking videos of past Oscar winners, they're all there. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that jazz. So yeah, be nice to make some new contacts as well, some new Oscar fans.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.